Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are all doing very well and welcome back to your school. I am Nikhil Tej Jiabi, your social science educator. Today we are going to learn about the topic environment. This is the first chapter of our class 7 geography. So are you people ready to learn about the beautiful environment? So without wasting our time, let's start our session today. So the topics which we are gonna learn or which we are gonna see today are: first one is the environment. Then we want to see what are the components of the environment. What do you mean by natural and human environment? What is meant by biotic and abiotic systems? What is an ecosystem? And what do you mean by barter system? So what do you mean by environment? Come on guys. I want answers from you. Please mention in the comment section. And I want this session to be a very interactive session. Come on. What do you mean by environment? See, your best answer will be getting a reward. Okay. So now you answer. What do you mean by environment? Let me explain. Okay. Let me give a situation or example. You are listening to my class. You are taking my session. So you will be having a mobile or a laptop in front of you and a chair which you are sitting on, and on the top there will be a fan running and a tube light or a light, okay, and also a bottle of water and the pen and paper. So these are the basic things which are necessary, which will be available for every student while he is listening to the class, right? So when you step out from the house, what do you see? You see the neighboring houses, you see various buildings, you see the roads, the pavements, you read trees. I mean, it may differ from one people to another. Some people might see the plants, some people might see the animals, some people might see the crops, some people might see the air because he might be living on the top floor. You can see directly down. So these are the various things which you see. So environment is nothing but the things which we see every day is nothing but the environment. In general, we can say that which we live is known as environment. Simple. Okay. So the things which surround us, like sky, plants, animals, humans, buildings, mountains and rivers, rocks, minerals, everything. So these are some of the examples which we see. So what we can say about the environment? The things which surround us, whatever you see in your surroundings is nothing but the environment. What is the definition of the environment? The place, people, things and the nature. So the place, people, things and nature that surround any living organism is called environment. So this is the definition of an environment. So in simple terms, we can say that everything present around us is the environment. Okay. Now, why environment is so important? Why we are learning about the environment and why it is actually important? I'll tell you. See, where do we get the water from? We drink water every day. Where do we get the water from? From the environment. That is from the land, river, that is from the oceans, rivers, seas. But one more thing, do you drink the ocean water? No, it is very salty. We drink only the fresh water. So the most important thing which we need. So in recent times, we have been seeing that many people have lost their life due to the non-availability of oxygen. In the corona time, many people have lost their life. You might have seen in the televisions and the newspapers. Because of lack of oxygen, many people have lost their life. So oxygen is very important. So where do we get oxygen from? From the atmosphere. That is the environment. Food, we eat every day, right? We eat 3 times a day. Without eating food, what will happen? The person will die. So there will be the food is very important. So where do we get food from? Plants. Where are the plants available? Nature. That is again the environment. So the things which are necessary to live, that support our growth is known as environment. So that's the reason it is known as the basic life support system. It supports our life. So it provides us the air we breathe, the water we drink, food we eat, and the land where we live. Okay. And because this environment is so important, we generally remember it once every year to make the people aware about how environment is very important. So we celebrate on every year on 5th June the World Environment Day. I've given you this. On 5th June of every year we celebrate World Environmental Day. Now there are two types of environments generally. One is the natural, the second one is the man-made. So you have told me about what is environment. Everything present is around, and everything present around us is environment only. Then why again you will be explaining about the natural and the man-made environment? Okay. So what are the things present around you? Pen, laptop, notebook, tube light, chair, everything. And also your mom and dad or grandfather, grandparents, any pets surrounding you. Okay. If there are pets present in your house, so they are also present in your home only. Can you differentiate between these and your parents and the computer or any items? Yes, our parents, our pets have life, whereas these things don't have any life, like computer, notebook. These things don't have any life. Okay, so we are available naturally. Animals are available naturally. Plants are available naturally. Where do you find laptop anywhere outside your home? Someone has to make it, right? Someone has to make this pen. Someone has to design it pen. Someone has to manufacture it. So these are the things which are made by the man. A laptop, the table, a chair, the house. Even the house is not available naturally. But the plants are available naturally, right? When you go to the forest, they are available naturally. The water, the oceans, someone has poured the water into the oceans. No, they are available naturally. So that's the reason we divide the environment into two types. First one is the natural environment. The second one is the man-made environment. So what are the things that are present in the natural environment? Plants, animals, land, air, minerals, mountains and rivers, as well as ourselves, humans. So these are all come under our natural environment. So what do you mean by man-made environment? Buildings, roads, vehicles, furniture, parks, factories, mobile phones, monuments. Everything which is made by the man is known as man-made environment. Okay, now you understood the difference between the natural environment and the man-made environment. Okay. Now, components of environment. What is this component, sir? Let me take a simple example. You have a school bag. So what are the things present in a school bag? Generally, the people will have textbooks, notebooks, a compass box which has a pencil, eraser, sharpener, everything, a ruler, the scale, and a small water bottle. Okay. So generally we have these things only. So these are textbooks, the scale, the notebooks, the compass box are all the components of your school bag. So similarly, environment has also some components, and they are broadly divided into three in number. What are they? The first one is the humans. That is us. We are the component of the environment. And the human made things, all the man-made things, all the non-living things, artificial things comes under the human made. Third one is the natural. See, this is very important. Natural things are also part of environment, so we can call it as the component of environment also. But when you observe a tree, okay, observe a tree, a large tree, under the tree there will be some stones lying on, small or big stones. So what is the difference between the stone and the tree? Come on. What is the difference between the stone and the tree? Tree has a life, stone doesn't have the life. They are available naturally, yes, but one is having life, the other is having no life. So we segregate or we divide the natural available things into two categories. The first one, the things which have life. The second one is the thing which doesn't have life. Okay, so the first one, and the humans, we all are humans. In the human made, there are various things like roads, buildings, factories, etc. So natural, I have told you, it is divided into two types. First one is the biotic, second one is the abiotic. So under biotic, all the living things come. Under abiotic, rocks, minerals, soil, river, etc. Okay, so these are all the components of environment. Now, biotic and abiotic components. So just now we have seen what is bio means life. The things which have life are known as biotic components. The things which don't have life are known as abiotic components, and the definitions are also very simple. See, all the living organisms are known as biotic components. That is the world of living organisms. Next comes the abiotic. All non-living things are known as abiotic components. So the world of non-living organisms is known as abiotic components. Biosphere. This is very, very important, guys. See, whatever we have constitutes in the biosphere only. Okay, so it is the sphere means what do you mean by sphere? What is the shape of our earth? Round in shape. That is, it has some volume. So it is known as sphere. Okay, so bio means life. The sphere which has life is known as biosphere. That's the reason we call earth as life. So we can call the earth as also a biosphere. So what are the major things present in the biosphere? I've given a picture. Can you tell me what are the things? I'll tell you. Land, air, water. Most important things which are necessary for our life. To live our life, without these things, we cannot survive. Okay, and there is a relationship between these three. There is a relationship between these three. Okay, and that particular relationship is nothing but is known as biosphere. Let me explain you this with an example. Okay, so I brought a plant from a nursery or from a roadside vendor. I brought some plant. So he has given in a small pot. So what we generally do, we purchase this plant and we want to plant it in a home. So we either plant it in a pot, or where we plant, we'll plant it in the ground. So what is the basic thing necessary for planting it? Soil. Right? Soil is necessary. Where do we get the soil from? We get the soil from the land. We take the soil from this land and we pour it into the pot, and then we put the plant. So for example, let us consider I have planted in the ground only. So this is the land. So what is the other thing which is necessary for the plant growth? Leaves. Sorry, not the leaves. What is the other thing which is necessary for the plant growth? Water. Without water, the plant will die. And the other thing very similar to us, that is we need oxygen for our survival. So what is the thing which is needed for the plants? It is the carbon dioxide. So where do we get the carbon dioxide from? Sky. The sky is also other name known as atmosphere. Okay. So these all things, sky, that is sky, water plus land, all are working together to support the plant growth. So there exists a relationship between all these three. Okay, so biosphere is nothing but these only. See, biosphere has three major components, which is one, atmosphere is the first one, hydrosphere is the second one. We call water as the hydrosphere, water content, and the air content is known as atmosphere, and finally the land, which is known as lithosphere. Plant and animal kingdom together make a biosphere. So plant and animal kingdoms, animals also, we are also social animals. Okay, so plants, animals, and humans, these together make up the biosphere or the living world. And it is also another definition, very important one. It's a narrow zone. Biosphere is a narrow zone of the earth where land, water and air interact with each other to support life. So it is a narrow sphere, a narrow zone of the earth where land, water and air interact each other to support the life. This is the biosphere. Okay. Now let's learn about the lithosphere. So lithosphere means land. Okay. Lithosphere means land. So lithosphere is a solid crust or a hard top layer of the earth. It is the solid crust or a hard top layer of the earth. Okay. So you all know earth has different layers. What? Earth has different layers. This is the earth. You know this earth has different layers like crust, mantle. The topmost layer, right, where we all live, where the continents are present, where the oceans are present, this is the topmost layer, and this topmost layer is known as crust. This topmost layer is known as crust. It is solid, right? The topmost layer, when you watch the globe, you observe some small and blue patches, some green and blue patches. The blue patch is nothing but all the oceans, and the green patch is nothing but the continent, the land where we live. Okay, so the lithosphere is only the land. It is solid only. The ocean under the land is also a lithosphere. Okay, the solid crust or the hard top layer, it is known as lithosphere. It is made up of rocks and minerals and covered by thin layer of the soil. Yes, when you dig, when you go beneath the soil, what you will find? You will find the rocks, minerals, everything. So it consists of rocks and minerals as well as is covered by thin layer of soil. It is an irregular surfaces with various landforms. Do you observe any land which is very flat, which is without any irregularities? No. A lithosphere land has many irregularities. That's the reason we are able to see the mountains and the plateaus and the valleys. Okay, so these are the various landforms. So the form of a land, where land has various forms. Among them, mountains, plateaus, plains, valleys are different ones. Now, these are the various landforms available. First one is the volcano. Where is a volcano? Second one is the hills. Island. You might be seeing a small land-like structure in the middle of the oceans, that is known as island. Canyon, deserts, oceans, rivers, jungles. These are the various landforms. Okay. Lithosphere. See, I've just told you, no. On the surface of the earth, we have some land, we have some water, and the water content is the ocean, and the land is the continent where we all live. So we have, how many continents we have? We have 7 continents. Sorry, we have 7 continents. So what is a continent? Asia is a continent. Okay. So we have 2 types of crust. One is the continental crust, one is the oceanic crust. The land under this is known as lithosphere. See, landforms are found over the continents and also on the ocean floors. Lithosphere is a domain that provides us forest, grasslands, grazing land for agriculture, human settlements. It is also a source of mineral wealth. Yes, where do we get the food from? We get the food from the farmers who do the agriculture. That's right, from the plants. Where do the plants grow then? Land. Where do we build the houses? On the land only, right? On the lithosphere only. Do we build a land on the oceans? In the water? No. So that is known for human settlements. Where do we feed our animals? We need grass for that. Where do the grass grows? On the land. And where do we find all this gold, rock, all the iron, steel? We all get this from a lithosphere only. So lithosphere is the basic domain where we get all these things. Now hydrosphere. What is hydrosphere? Water. The water content is known as hydrosphere. So the domain of the water is referred to as hydrosphere. See, it comprises various sources of water. So same as the land, it has also a various sources like oceans, rivers, everything, and different types of water bodies like sea, rivers, lakes, seas, oceans. So it's essential for all the living organisms. We know this. Water is very, very important for all the living beings. Without the water, no one can sustain. Okay. So these are the various water forms. The first one is the lake, waterfall, pond, ocean, sea, river. So these are the various water forms. Now let's talk about the final component of the biosphere, that is the atmosphere. Okay. See, atmosphere is nothing but air. I've already told you this is the earth, and there is a small layer around the earth. There is a small layer around the earth which is present throughout the earth. So why this layer is present? Why this atmosphere is present? This thin layer is known as atmosphere only. Okay. So why do we need this? The atmosphere is a thin layer of air that surrounds the earth. Yes. The gravitational force of the earth holds the atmosphere around it. So how does the atmosphere stay in place? We know the gravitational force, right? The Newton, the Apple story, we all know this. So this gravitational force, what happens? It holds the atmosphere around it. It doesn't make the atmosphere to go off from the earth. So it protects us from the harmful rays from the scorching heat of the sun. We all know the sun is very, very, very hot. So what happens when the sun rays directly falls on our body? We get certain diseases like skin cancer. Sometimes when it directly touches our body or environment of the plant, we get burnt off. That is the capacity, that is intensity of the sun. So this atmosphere, this particular layer, it protects us from the harmful rays and the scorching heat of the sun. Just like the what we say on the mobile phone, we'll apply some layer, some protective layer. We call it as screen guard. Why we add it? So to protect it from damage. When it directly falls on the ground, it will break, the screen will break. When we add this protective cover, what will happen? So it will get hurt, that protective cover will only get damaged, whereas the phone remains safe. Similar way, Earth is also protected by this atmosphere. And this atmosphere consists of what? It has gases, dust and water vapor. See? It consists of gases, dust and water vapor. And the changes in the atmosphere produces changes in the weather and the climate. Do you know why we'll be having this summer season, while be having the winter season, all of a sudden why it rains? Because that there will be a changes happening in the atmosphere. So that is the reason the climates and the weather systems are present. Okay, so atmosphere is very, very, very important. Now, ecosystems. I've given you pictures on the screen. You might be saying that, sir, we are not a LKG or we are not a primary students to learn all this. So you just tell me what are the climatic conditions where these animals live. Okay, the living conditions we can see. So where do the camel live? Deserts. Camel live in the deserts. So what is the climate in the desert? Have you ever visited the desert? If not, the climate in the desert is very, very hot. It is very hot. Okay. So what are the animals that live in this very hot condition climate? We can say directly that is the camel. So we find the camel in the desert only. Do you find the camels in any oceans or near rivers, nearby rivers area? No, na. You'll find the camel only in these regions. And where does this live? What is this? This big one. Whale. So where does this whale live? In oceans. So what is the climate at the oceans? Cool. Okay. So do these whales live in rivers or the ponds or in an aquarium? Can we put this? No. Why? I'll tell you at the end. So now, meanwhile, you just keep thinking on why sir is explaining all these things. Okay. Now comes the frog. Many people have seen this. Most of us have seen the frogs. Okay. These live in nearby houses only. Near the ponds, near the gutters. Everywhere this frog lives. Okay. So this doesn't require, this requires mostly the moderate temperature. So we can say it's slight cool temperature. Okay. Cool. Now, what is this? This white one? Polar bear. So where does the polar bear live? Does it live in the deserts? Can it live in the desert? I mean, can the polar bear live in the desert? No. Can the polar bear live in the areas like us, in the apartments or in the cities like houses like where we live? No. So it requires a specific place because it can survive only in that particular conditions. So it lives in a very, very cold regions. After this class, find out what are the regions this polar bear is present. Okay. And now comes this one, the goldfish. This you can see in the aquariums. Okay. Whoever has the aquarium, then definitely there will be a goldfish in that aquarium. Because these goldfish can live in the system only. Okay. And when they are allowed to live in the water and when somewhere else, they can't live because they can't survive that environment. So generally what we are going to say about all this, every creature has a separate ecosystem. It is a place which are suitable for them to live. I cannot live in deserts, you cannot live in deserts, you cannot live in very cold regions, you will die immediately. Okay. So no one can, you will become a snowman immediately after going there. So every person, every creature on the living on the earth requires or has a specific ecosystem. That is the condition, the climatic conditions and the human interactions are in collaboration or cooperation. So that is meant by ecosystem. Now we'll learn about the definition of an ecosystem. See, animals, the vegetation and the way people live vary from place to place. Yes, the climate in the northeastern states like Assam, Meghalaya, Shillong is very different from the Maharashtra state. Maharashtra state is very, very hot. And when coming to the Bangalore, the climate is very cold. And the immediate neighbors of the Karnataka state, Andhra Pradesh and the Tamil Nadu area is very, very humid. Whereas Karnataka, very cold, especially in the Bangalore, very cold. Why these temperatures are varying? These keeps on varying from place to place. Okay. All plants, animals and human beings depends on their immediate surroundings. Yes, I depend on my immediate surroundings. You see, if there is hot outside, I like to wear a short, I like to wear a sleeveless. If there is very cold outside, what I will wear, what you will wear? You will wear a sweater or a jacket. So you are adjusting with the outside environment, that is the surroundings. Often they are also independent on each other. Some people might not be wearing anything even there is very cold. Some people might be roaming around if it is even raining also. Okay, we can't say anything to them. They are adjusted to that place. Okay, the situation. So this relationship between the living organisms and the relationship between the organisms and their surroundings forms an ecosystem. Simple terms, the relationship between the organism, that is the living organism, and the surroundings forms an ecosystem. Which ecosystem do I live? I live in a normal ecosystem. Forest is an ecosystem. Ocean is an ecosystem where all the aquatic animals live. Desert is an ecosystem. These are all the ecosystems. So see, there could be an ecosystem of large rainforest, grasslands, deserts, mountains, lakes, rivers, ocean, and even a small pond. So these are the various ecosystems, and only that particular kind of things will get adapted to that. For example, I live very comfortable in my home. When I go to my friend's house or relative's house, I don't feel much comfortable over there when compared to my home. Because I used to live in the house for many years. I've got habituated to all the conditions in my house so that I can live comfortably. Whereas my relatives' house or friends' house is very new to me. I cannot sustain there. It takes time. But when I go to some other places like Himalayas or very desert, I cannot sustain there. I'll die immediately because I'm not habituated to that. Okay, so simple thing, the ecosystem is the relationship between us and the surrounding environment. That's it. Okay. See, it is a system formed by the interaction of all the living organisms with each other and the physical and chemical factors of the environment in which they live, all linked by the transfer of energy and material. So what do you mean by transfer of energy and material? Where do we get energy from? Where do all the humans get energy from? By eating only, na? So where we get food from? Plants. So plants giving us the food in the form of chemical energy. What is food? Chemical energy, right? When we eat the food, carbohydrates are developed or generated in the body that gives us energy, right? So by gaining that energy, we are able to do some work. So chemical energy is transferred, okay? And also the material energy. Where we do get the wood from? Where do we get the plastic from? Right? Where do we get all the papers, notebooks from? From the plants, trees, and various other materials. So transfer of chemicals and materials and the relationship between all these is known as ecosystem. Okay. Human environment. Now we learn about how the things change on according to the environment. How the things change on according to the environment. In the initial days, you can see this ancient man used to wear leaves because there were many limited people and they don't know how to manufacture the cloth. Okay, they want only for protecting it from wind, hot sun and the cold nights. Only to protect from these conditions, they started wearing something which is available near to them. That is the leaves. So after a few days, what happened? This ancient man started killing the animals. Okay, this ancient man started killing the animals. So after killing, the skin is remaining. So he thought of why not we use the skin for covering our body. They started using the skin. So after a few days, what happens? They have started making the agriculture. So by the agriculture, they started growing the cotton also. So from the cotton, they have started making the yarns of cotton. And after making a yarn, they started making the cloth. It is a cotton cloth. So they started wearing this cotton cloth. So now you tell me, now they have this cotton cloth. Okay. Now this animal cloth, will these people will wear the leaves? No. Because they changed according to environment and these people, and this is the man we are now. We now use a wide variety of clothes. We call it as fashion. But these are only needed for protecting our body. That's it. Okay. So I have a question for you. So I'll give you a chance. Okay. See, if I want you people to wear this dress, do you wear? First thing, will you wear the leaves? No. Why? Because people will start laughing at you. But initially, olden days, they used to wear these only. And at those times, no people has laughed at them. Why? Because of the conditions. Okay? Because of the conditions, people will change and the dressing style will also be changed. Similarly, based on the climatic conditions also, in summer, we wear cotton cloths. In winter, what's happened? We wear woolen cloths. In rainy season, what we use? We use raincoats. So, according to the change in weather conditions, according to the change of environment, we also change our clothing styles, our clothing changes, and one more thing, food also, right? You like to eat the ice cream in the summer season, whereas in the winter season, you like to eat the bhajis or bondas, right? Okay, see. So, according to the environment, everything changes. Human beings interact with the environment and modify it according to their need. Now, wheel invention. Very, very important topic. You know how wheel was invented. It was invented by the ancient man, and later on these are the various modifications or the advancements in the wheel structure. So why people keep on inventing? Why? because they want somewhat luxury, they want some rich, they want some conditions. Okay, see, using this wheel, they can't travel far, they can't travel at very high speeds. Through this wheel, the one which we are using now, we can travel at very large speed, 200 kilometers per hour, 300 kilometers per hour. Yes, see, this is only because this keeps on changing with the living conditions. Transportation has become faster from that place to this place. In those days, what is the transportation kind? Bullock carts. Okay, now what we have a trains, we have a steamers, we have a buses, even we have aeroplanes, helicopters. Now we are also using the superjet planes, and we are also traveling under the sea also, right? So these are the advancements to make a transportation faster and cheaper. Now, what do you see on the screen? What is this? Oreo biscuit? No. What is this then? This is the stone coin. Stone, you all know what is meant by coin, right? You all know this. What is meant by coin? It's a currency. So this is the coins. Okay, so in olden days, if I want to buy something, these coins were not present at that time. These were not present at that time. If I want to purchase something, if I want to purchase some vegetables or fruits for eating, then I need to purchase from some people. Some farmer will be there. He might be producing all this. So I need to purchase these things from that farmer. I don't have any money. So how do I get them? So what the people used to do, the things which are present with them. For example, if they have some clothes, if they have some ornaments, if there are other food materials like grains, meat, something, they used to exchange with those people. Okay, so these people, what they'll do, they'll give some milk to that person, they'll take the vegetables. So what this person is doing, the other person is giving the vegetables and taking the milk, exchange of goods. So that was the system that was prevailing at that time. Over a period of time, advancements happened, trade happened, commerce developed. So now we are using the currency for the exchange. Okay, we generally take a currency when we go to a shop, we pay them, right? We give some currency, we give 1,000 rupees, 500 rupees for that people. In exchange of that, he'll give us some biscuits, he'll give us some materials, he gives them some clothing. So that the system where there was an exchange of goods is known as barter system. See, barter system, remember, trade started and commerce developed. It is a trade in which goods are exchanged without the use of money. A very, very important, guys. Try to remember it. What is the barter system? It is a trade. Trade is nothing but making a business, buying and selling. Buying and selling is nothing but trade. So buying and selling without the use of money is known as barter system. Simple. Now, so after this stone coin, we have shifted to the metal coins. Have you seen this 2 rupee coin? If you have seen, you are lucky enough, because nowadays we don't use this. We use them, but majority we don't use them. This one, 500 rupee note. I guess more in childhood days you might have seen this. Recently, we have demonetization has happened. So after demonetization happened, we got some new type of currency. Simple, the design and color has changed, that's it. And denomination also like 2000. Okay. So this is how the currency, the trade has been changed. Now the communication, how the human environment and human conditions have been changed. Communication is very important nowadays. In olden days, what is the communication, guys? Only the postal system. Before that, pigeon. Do you remember in the pictures you can see these people will be sending the messages through the pigeon. So that was the messaging system at that time. Now after that, what happened? Postal system has come. That is the post we use. We are used with the postcards. So after that, we had a radio to know about the what is happening around the world. Next comes the typewriters, which is used for typing, and comes the telephone. So this is the first very important one. Before that, for communicating any people relative, we used postcards. So after telephone, we used to call them, we used to speak virtually. So after that, what happened? We got a camera. So after camera, the invention was a television. So in your childhood days, your parents will be complaining, don't watch the television. Even in our childhood days also, what happened? We used to watch the televisions more. They used to tell that, don't watch the televisions more. So what has replaced the televisions nowadays? These computers and the cell phones. And the major invention is the internet. Internet has changed the scenario of the world. So this is the way how the communication has changed. So after smartphones, we don't know how the communication will be. So there will be a communication just like if you speak here, then it will be reached to that person. So that might also become in the future. Who knows, right? So we are talking a cell phone in a hand. So in future we don't even require that cell phone also. Just like talking in the air, the signals will be received by the satellite and that will be transmitted to the other person. It might come. Okay. So information revolution made communications easier and speedy across the world. Okay. So revolution is nothing but which is fighting for the things which are not happening. That is, we want something more than this. We want something more, that is revolution. Simple. And the change in the housing structure, see, cave to thatched houses small and come to multi-story buildings and apartments. So this is the way how the housing of the people has been changed. Industrial revolution enabled large scale production. What do you mean by industrial revolution? Producing more things. Industries, have you heard this word, industries? Yes. So producing more and more things. See, in the olden days, the early man know only how to make the stone tools. Later on, what happened is they started making the metal tools. After that, after so many years, these people have started building the car. This is the first car which is being built. Okay, first car. Now what we have? Series. Can you find any human being or human in this picture? No. Everything is prepared with the help of the machines, the robots. So automation has taken the place of the humans. So that's the reason we are not finding a good number of jobs. Because of everything, even with the precise, even when compared to man, a machine can do a work very precisely and very perfectly. Okay, so this is the area where this is the generation scenario where we are living. Mobile phones, technology, automation, what not, very advanced technology. This has all been changed according to the environment has also been changed. Remember, so we all been complaining about the ozone layer is depleting, plant more trees, plant more things. Why? To protect our environment. Now we'll just recap the things which we have learned using this questionnaire. So these are the questions which are present in our textbook also. So this will be a revision for you guys. The first question is, which is not a natural ecosystem? Which is not a natural ecosystem? What's the answer? Come on, I want answers from you guys. The answer is aquarium, because aquarium is made by the man. Okay, so desert and forest occur naturally, whereas aquarium is made by the man. The second question is, which is not a component of human environment? Which is not a component of environment? Land, religion, community. Can you please tell me which is not a component of human environment? Answer is land. Land is a component of natural environment. Okay, so religion, community are the components of human environment. Which is a human-made environment? A, mountain, B, sea road. Which is a human-made environment? The answer is road. Fourth one, what is a threat to the environment? What is a threat to the environment? The answer is growing population. So what happens when we grow, the population grows? More use of resources, right? More use of resources. What happens when we use more resources? Depletion occurs. So indirectly we will run out of resources. It is affecting the environment. So this is the answers. Now match the following. The first one is the biosphere. So which is the correct answer for the biosphere? Come on guys, please answer the question. What is the correct answer for biosphere? The answer is option E, narrow zone where land, water and air interact. Second one, atmosphere. I have told you, right? Atmosphere is a protective layer. So the answer is option number A, blanket of air which surrounds the earth. Coming to the third one, hydrosphere. Hydrosphere is nothing but water. So the answer is option number B, domain of water. 4, environment. What is environment? Surroundings. Okay. Environment is a surroundings. So that's it all guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video and known completely about the environment. Thank you for watching the video till the end, and please follow S-School on social media for updates and free classes. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.